I would like to introduce Nada Abdallah. Yes, and she is an artist, designer, an educator, and the founder of Bil Arabic Design Festival and the director of Meta Motifs Masterclasses. And we will listen to her talk about the Arabic alphabet.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the title of my presentation is Back to Alif. I'm going to take you through the outline of the presentation. We're starting with the introduction of the Kufic script, moving then into research about the Alif, and then into the Alif, through the Alif, and then finally beyond the Alif. In the beginning, to start with, because this research focuses on the Kufic script, which is an ancient Arabic script, which developed in Kufa in the 7th century. It is the early form of the Arabic script, as mentioned, which has uncountable types. It's a script that survived, disappeared, and developed. It reached its peak in the 9th century. You can find early tracings of the script in the Quranic manuscripts. It is there on parchments, inscriptions, on tombstones, architectural decoration, bowls, coins, etc. So this is just giving you a little visual teaser to start with about the different forms of the Alif of the Kufic script. The Kufic script has many different types, very uncountable, starting with the primary, which is the earliest. There is the Eastern, Western, Fatimid, Mamluki, Kairawani, knotted, foliated, floriated, squared, and so many other more. Some of its characteristics is that it's very unique, it's very different, it's very full of personality. It's a bold script. It has lots of angles in certain forms. It has rectilinear, horizontal, and very playful, and I would call it a traveler. This is also showing you briefly the different crops of the different Kufic, starting with the primary, moving here into the Western, the Fatimid, and the Eastern. As you notice that some of the letters are drawn, and some are written. It's like this is written, written, drawn, and written. And to move now into the Alif, to start with, it is literally the first letter of the Arabic alphabet with a numerical value of 1. This is also showing you some of the different variations of the primary found in or extracted from different manuscripts. And this was the beginning. As a signifier, it is the first letter of the Arabic alphabet, as mentioned. It has a vertical linear form. And what does it stand for? It signifies God, the one and first, last, which has spiritual connotation, and it is there to start as the beginning. The steps, the methodology of work was, number 1, I started collecting, then dissecting and analyzing, and then later went into the typology of the letter form. So the line starts with a dot and ascends upwards and descends downwards to form the vertical line, the Alif. And the journey of the Alif from east to west, from past to present, maps the transformation of the alphabet and the script. This is showing you a crop or a mosaic of the different references I worked with, collected from different resources. As you see, some are manuscripts, some are, for example, coins and applied on different surfaces with different methods and in different periods of time. So the first step was the dissection step. So I had to draw precisely the letter forms very neatly, and then later on thought that I need to do something with that. It can't just be drawing the letter forms. I need to analyze and to do something about it. So the Aleph of the Arabic script, if you look at the, for example, the different types, the experts in the script can detect, because the Aleph acts as a symbol of the script style, so the experts can understand and they can know just by looking at the Aleph which type it belongs to. The Kufic, we have a different conversation here. So looking here at one of the early forms and trying to draw precisely the letter and trying to see with the system of proportion what is the logic in there. So after drawing the different ones, and here I'm just showing you a bit of the research, not all of it, of course, and it is, of course, work in progress. So what you see here is the different transformation in the different centuries and in different geographic locations. That's why I called it the traveler. As you see here, that the system of proportion varies from a place to another and from place to another and from a century to the other. And here also you see the variety of the thick and thin, and also sometimes with the material it dictates to you the style or the actual proportion. So this is also a sample. I just included one sample of each because due to the shortage, the time limit. So here, this is Fatimid. As you see, this is actually drawn. So it has a perpendicular style, and this is a crop from a fabric. So sometimes, like with the media, how it dictates to you for example, the quality of the style of what you are going to do on it. So here with the Mamluk, it's also a vertical line with some sort of like serif styles. It's done in the 14th century. This is a palmette. And also looking at the different categorization, it's very inspired by nature. So here you have the palmette, then you have the foliated, and then the floriated, and then the pleated style of the different Alefs. And then you can see here the influence of technology, which is the yellow metalwork and how pointed the Alef is. And later I will show you some more examples of this because it became a trend in a certain period of time. So, and then into the serif Alef, which is, this is 13th century Egypt, marble tombstone. And this is the pseudo-Kufic. It is in around the 14th century, done on tin glazed earthenware in Spain. Here, looking at the different Alefs, I collected around 100 for now to start with, because I wanted to stop somewhere, because later on I wanted to take this to do some exhibition work with it. So here what happened, I mapped the different Alefs per the different centuries, like the 8th, the 9th, etc., until the 19th. So here what you see is I coded the different Alefs with different degradations of different colors, so that I can know later on whenever I click on the Alef, I would know to, because I color named the different colors based on the century. So later what I did, I started sorting the different ones that look like the primary ones, and then later the ones that are more geometric, the ones that have a conical style, and the ones that have serif style, the other ones that have more liberal style, and the, as you see here, then the ones that are more geometric, and the etc. Here, focusing on the primary and I wanted to see here if I will sort them based on the evolution of the shape, but not in, of course, chronological order, just by looking at it like the metamorphosis of the different aleph that looks like a primary. In certain, here if you observe that you see that they are different from one another, but if you look here at the ones, some samples of ones that are from the 8th, 9th and the 10th century, if you overlay them on top of one another, you would see that there is some sort of a similarity, but not exactly. So this is just to tell you that maybe in certain areas there was some tracing going on, and in certain other areas there were more improvising style of writing. Here, to look at this, like just sorting it and mapping it into the point system with the thickness. Here also the different, this is from the 8th century Iraq, 8th century North Africa, again 8th century Iraq, 9th century Middle East, North African. So some, I couldn't trace exactly to which country it is. It's just saying this or that, and it's a region. It's a very larger area. So here also going back to Iraq and then Uzbekistan, Tunis, and etc. So as you see here, that the Aleph has traveled and took and wore different dress wherever it traveled to. So here with this Niello style, in Iran, you'll find this in the 10th century, and then the orientation of the, actually it's the conical, but I put it together with the Niello because it has some sort of similarity, visual similarity. And here also, but mostly it looked like there was a trend in that century working with this pointy, spiky, thorny-like shape. So these are, for instance, some samples of the foliated. And when we say foliated, it's not only one style, it's a variety of different styles, also ranging from the 10th century to the 15th century. And you notice that not two are looking alike. And this is the floriated one. Actually, if you look at the whole entire manuscript or the calligraphic work, you would see more of the floriated, but I just extracted the aleph just to work with. And then the knotted style from 11th century Iran, 13th century Iran, 15th century Uzbekistan, 15th century Spain, and then again in Spain. Even in the same country or area, the shape has varied its form. And then the Mamluk, and these are all 14th century Egypt, and each one is totally different from one another. In certain areas, when I was drawing and tracing, I noticed that there is a very precise mechanical drawing of the aleph. Here also, this is another evidence of like these are all copy-pasted. And in certain other areas, no, it was more, each one had its different, it has different shape based on where it's placed, and because these are probably more of actual, it's not a Quran, this is more of the actual daily use product, so maybe there was more liberal way of writing it. Maybe, I'm not sure. Here, researching through the aleph, this is the fun part, because I had to stop somewhere and then say, I have an exhibition. It was part of the Sharjah Calligraphy Biennial last year in November 2022. So what I did is I wanted to work on working on some artwork based on the research done. So I started with thinking, how can I sort what I have? I can't sort them in time because maybe it's not precise. I can't sort them by geographic location because maybe it's not precise. I can't sort them in a certain area, because still even this is only a sample. I mean, I haven't collected all the different alifs. So I wanted here to just show some sort of like working on a grid, trying to compose the different alifs as if they are, like, let's say, on the map, from east to west, and then they're traveling and moving around to give it some sort of a dynamic composition for the different alifs. And this was actually stainless steel, around a 2.5 meter width, and the title of it is Same But Not Similar, and it's stainless steel mirror. Actually, I wanted to work with the positive of the letter forms, but then sorry, I'm saying the truth. I didn't have time, so what I did is I worked on the inverted actual background, so it worked for the exhibition. These are different posters taking the different alifs and composing, playing on the figure ground reversal, positive, negative, transformation from thick to thin, just to show us how dynamic and how we can generate new letter forms just from one of the alifs. And here also, as you see, I'm showing the original reference and then what has been created based on that. And these are UV printed on paper, 70 by 100. This is the Primary Kufic. Also here trying to show motion to reflect the movement of the actual alif. And this is Western Kufic, also playing on positive, negative. This one, Eastern. Square Kufic. Another square Kufic. And am I running out of time? Okay, thank you. Okay, so here, since we said earlier that Aleph is symbol of God, so I wanted to create the name of God, Allah, with only Alephs. So it was a challenge because I only wanted to use Alephs, nothing else. So this is just to show you that what I did is I created an Aleph and then worked on the repetition and on the movement and the transformation. And this was the rendering of the sculpture. It's a 2 meter height, also stainless steel mirror. The title of it is First and Last. And this is the part of the fabrication. Actually, trying to build this huge structure was really challenging. And also working on the other, the mural for the different letters. And looking, it was a real pleasure actually fabricating this in the industrial area. And these are some images of the parts of the Alephs that have been executed. And this is, here's just some images from the exhibition. And this is the pseudo Kufic coming to life, and this is actual aluminum. And here, these are different images of the exhibition, where I had an animation playing in the background and the different artwork with the different media created only with the Alephs that have been drawn and extracted. And what I wanted to say, I have an animation. If I have time, I can play it. If not, it's okay. What I wanted to say is that this is only the start. And I'm planning to work more on this project, this research. And it's only, the potential and the beauty of the Arabic script is that there are infinite number of possibilities that you can generate only from a line. So as you saw, it's an Aleph, which is a line. And how many different forms and different infinite renderings that you can do from that line, and even from each of the lines that you can take that further and create more and more and more infinite different solutions.
Thank you so much, Nada. Was very impressed with your metal art piece. That was very beautiful. I hope to see more of that art pieces. Very, very beautiful. Thank you so much.
I'm also absolutely mesmerized with your work. Congratulations. The question regarding the metalwork, is the support somehow related to the symbolic value of the Aleph letter as well? The fact that there is a reflection.
This mic is working. Okay. Yeah, about the choice of media, I always wanted something reflective where people can actually see the mirror of themselves into the work. So yes, it has been picked for that actual reason. The idea of reflection is what I wanted to use to portray the idea in the best way.
But is it also embedded into is the idea of reflection as also embedded in the very sense of the symbolic value of the word, the letter Aleph, somehow?
About the relationship of the reflection of the Aleph, yeah, since Aleph reflects the name of God, it is the symbol of, it's like the logo, if you want to call it with. So yes, so it is reflected.
Well, thank you. It was a fascinating presentation. I was curious to know if you did if you conducted any research on the tools that calligraphers were using to produce all these shapes. They don't all look written, as you said. Some of them are traced. And yeah, I'm curious to know if you found any.
For the different scripts, there are different tools, of course. Like for what you see for example, the Fatimid, of course, they use geometric tools with the lines and the compasses and the pencils and etc. Because also, depending on what they have been applied onto, like for example, if they're carved on stone, is different from the embroidered work. So basically, for the tools of the fabrication, the method of the work dictated that. For example, with the square Kufic, it's tiles. So we have some work has been engraved and some has been drawn on paper with the qalam and some have been drawn with the pencil, and so. When it's written on the paper, with the geometric ones, definitely they have used geometric tools. With the ones that are, like for example, the Qayrawani and the Primary and the Eastern, of course, with the qalam. Okay.
In Eastern Kufi, they use for the stem, they use kalam, the pen, but for the ornamental part, they use brush. Like what happened in the illumination, like Tazhib.
The calligraphic pen.
For the stem, they use reed pen, and for the ornamental part, they use brush.
That sounds a bit unlikely to me, but
They use also the tip of the qalam for the refinement. Even for the thuluth and the other types, they don't just draw it automatically. They would do a refinement with the tips of the pen, like they would hold it in a different way. And
probably there was the fluidity of ink as
yeah,
well, right?
yes.
So sometimes like little push forward of the letting ink just flow away from the stem.
We need to have a workshop on this next year so we can all try out. Oh, sorry. That was just a little comment. Could we have a workshop on this and try this out? So then we find out how it's really done.
yes, okay,
Can you offer
Okay.
this next year?
yes.